running my mind. Oh no, it's been a long time. Oh, I've been searching for a long time. Glad that I found you at the right time. Oh, you're running my mind. I can't lose this love in this love in this loving. Don't wanna lose this love in this love in this loving. I can't lose this love in this love in this loving. Don't wanna lose this love in this love in this loving. I see what I've been missing. Been through many seasons, but I never found the person.
Hello, welcome to Conjugal Bliss. I am Priscilla Ashonibare. Thank you for joining us. We're going to be continuing our discussion on the topic, love is not enough. So this is love is not enough, part 4, because for the past 4 weeks we've been talking about it, and we started with trying to tell us that yes, love is important. It will help you to be able to choose the person that you want to get married to, but it is not enough in itself to be able to build a solid foundation for the marriage. And we said the reason is because love is a feeling, it is an emotion, and emotion will be in motion when pressure is applied through circumstances, situations, challenges that you and your spouse might come across later in life. And we said, what can we do in order for you to be able to make sure that you have a successful and satisfying marriage later in the future is you have to make sure that you get to do your background check about the person that you want to get married to, so that you will not just walk into the marriage based on feeling, you walk into the marriage based on reason as well. I like to put it this way: follow your heart, but don't leave your head behind. And we say one of the things that you should do is that you should investigate the person, you should observe the person, you should open your eyes and take note of so many aspects of the life of this person, from how the person behaves, from how the person relates with people, starting with just ordinary and any other kind of social gathering. And we now went to talk about the fact that you should also take note of how this person you want to spend the rest of your life with relates with his or her parents, how the person relates with the siblings, what are the patterns that this person has. Maybe the person quits easily, or is somebody that is resilient, that will say, no, I can do it, I will persevere, and how this can affect your marriage in the future. So last week we were talking about the fact that man is incurably religious, and whatever a person believes in will influence how the person will live his or her life, and that man believes that there is more than the natural eye can see. And we were able to present and discuss some of the questions you should ask, but we're also able to differentiate between a religious person and a spiritual person. Okay, because getting married just because you are in love without exploring the religious and spiritual differences and how it can affect your marriage in the future is like sleeping on the bed with fire under it. So you have to make sure that this area is ironed out. No matter what and whom you believe in, religious beliefs are accompanied by deep convictions and very strong emotions, and they will affect and influence the way a person lives his or her life. So please don't just close your eyes to this. Make sure you know the person you're going to marry to. Is the person religious or spiritual? The person's involvement in activities, the person's way of living. How is this belief? How far is it affecting or influencing that person's life? And remember, the Bible said that one thing, you should not be equally yoked with unbelievers. Another person in the Bible, okay, let me say, a set of people who did investigation despite what God gave to them were the children of Israel. He said, I'm giving the land of Canaan. They didn't just pack their load and went inside. No, Moses sent spies, and it got spies from every tribe to go, meaning bring all the stakeholders, get them involved, your parents, your siblings, your friends, your pastor, your church member. Let them help you to be able to know this person they are trying to get married to, meaning in every aspect and sphere of life, make sure you gather information about the person. For example, when you visit their family, the person's family, you should observe how is the father treating his mother. If the father is sort of like a bully, it's bullying the mother, sit down there, woman, what would you, I'm talking, you don't have to talk now, then definitely that would be the same way he will end up treating you, because modeling is one of the things that, shaping the character, behavior, perspectives of the life of children through their parents. And if you see that the mother, the way she treats the father is not the way you want your wife to treat you, then what you should do is negotiate about it. I'm not saying, okay, because the father, don't like the way the father spoke with the mother, or don't like the way the mother, treated the father, that you should just quit. No, it gives you an opportunity to go and tell the person you want to get married in a very respectful way, and say, oh, this is what I noticed when I visited your family, not just once. Make it to be like 2-3 times, because you don't know what happened if it's just once, okay? The Bible said let there be 2-3 witnesses, okay? So let there be 2-3 occasions that you've seen the father treat the mother in a particular way that you don't like, or you've seen the mother treat the husband in a particular way that you do not like, that you won't like your spouse to treat you in the future. So now what you now do is, because what happened is, this person you want to get married to grew up in this kind of an environment. So sometimes they do not see it as being maladaptive anymore. They see it as something that is acceptable, because that is all they know all their lives. So most times it will take somebody coming from the outside of that family to draw their attention to say, okay, this can be done in a more acceptable way. So what gives the advantage this gives to you is, number one, you can be able to pinpoint it to the person you are going to get married to. For example, maybe you see that the father is a little bit given to outburst of, temper. You can now say, oh, please, I will just beg you, in the future, when I've done something that you don't like, can you just tell me in a way that will make me understand it? Can you just call my attention to it? I won't like if you would just shout it out like that in front of people. So you are trying to let him know that the way the father will just speak anyhow to correct the mother in the presence of everybody because the mother did something he didn't actually like. You are trying to tell him stylishly so that by the time you are now married to him, for example, he will remember that while you were courting, you've already drawn his attention to that tendency that he might have in the future. Now remember, do it with respect and empathy. Don't just say, I look at your father, the way he's treating your mother. Don't you ever think of treating me like that when we are married. Of course, that is like cutting trouble already, even before getting married. The same thing if it is the woman you want to marry to, that you notice that the mother is behaving in a way that you would not want her to behave, towards you in the future. Do it with respect. Do it with empathy. Let her know, no, I'm not saying that your family is bad. I'm just saying, please, in the future, can we watch and guard against this happening in our home? Now, doing a background check on the person you want to marry will help you to prepare yourself to be able to know how to handle such challenges and situations in the future. It is like arming yourself with the right armory before going to battle. It is giving you the right information of who this person is so that you can know how to deal with him or her. I'm not now saying that, okay, you should just, no, okay, because of this, I won't marry you. Remember, nobody is perfect. It is you being able to bring the weaknesses you've noticed in the life of this person and the strengths in the life of the person you want to get married to, and put them side by side and see, okay, with the weaknesses and the strengths, I'm not talking of sin now. I'm talking of natural tendencies, okay? Like maybe he's an introvert, he doesn't relate with people very well, or maybe she's an extrovert, she talks too much. Can you put up with that? I remember there was this person that said he had actually proposed to a lady and wanted to get married to her. But when he now saw that, no, this one, I cannot put up with the kind of energy she has. She's too garrulous, she talks too much. And he now said, no, I can't imagine having this kind of a person for a wife. Somebody will now say, why should he now break the relationship? If he knows I cannot live with that kind of a person, I think it's better, as I would say, to break off the engagement than to have a broken home. So this is you putting things in place to prevent a sour relationship in the future. Now that is to the single. So let me talk to the married. How will you be able to know when love is not enough in your marriage? Or what are the signs that love is being eroded or is beginning to fade in your marriage? Number one, it is when you have unresolved issues. There are some spouses that had some mental health problems and they didn't seek enough help in the past. And this is now sort of like it's like a demon that was put in a cabinet or a wardrobe that is peeping once in a while and causing problems in the marriage. For example, somebody who was raped, there was this lady, she said that she finds it hard to be with her husband, intimately, because she was raped when she was younger, and this led to frigidity. What we did that she had to see a psychologist who walked her through, we call it unfinished business. So this unfinished business from the past is now affecting her relationship with her husband. So we had to ask her to see a psychologist who walked her through for her to be able to get over it. So if there's any kind of psychological problem that you've had, maybe an abuse in the past that is affecting you, sometimes it can even be the reason of impotency in the life of some men. What I would say is don't let it affect your marriage. Seek professional help. Seek for professional help. Discuss about it with your spouse. Make sure you do not keep such things hidden from the person you want to get married to, because it can erode the love. It can erode the trust that the person will have for you, and this will bring lots of conflicts, quarrels, misunderstandings in the relationship. Another thing is unresolved past conflicts. When you are having carryover, you have flashbacks Okay, this was what you did 100 years ago. This was what you did 50 years ago, and you are still allowing those things to to be waken up again. You're allowing those things to be brought back. You remember when we discussed about some of the things that would affect the marriage? We spoke about kitchen sinking, when you just bring in all kinds of things together, even those situations that have been resolved. Another way unresolved past conflicts can affect the marriage is if it happens that the spouse does not have a very cordial relationship with his family. I mean, his parents, with his siblings. There's going to be a carryover, meaning that the parents of that spouse might end up blaming you for them not having a cordial relationship with their son, with their wife, with their son, with their daughter, forgetting that even before you came into the picture, the relationship was not too healthy. Now, should you get into a family like that, like there was this lady not too long ago, she came and she was speaking with me, and I discovered that one of the problems she's having is because the husband does not have too cordial relationship with his family, his parents and his siblings. So I told her, you will have to be the bridge to bring them together. Don't say because your husband is having issues with his parents and with his siblings, you will now carry it on yourself to also have problems with them. No. Try to mend the bridge. Try to help them solve the issue. Because if you do not, in one way or the other, it will still be affecting your own relationship with your spouse. Be the bridge to bring them together, because you cannot say, okay, because you're married to him and he's not having, you now cut off his parents, you cut off her parents, you cut off the family of your spouse. Life is not like that. Okay, how will you be able to know that love is getting eroded in your marriage? Is when you and your spouse are beginning to have less communication. And when you don't communicate very well with your spouse, then the devil will. And when the devil is communicating with your spouse, you will not like what the devil is going to be saying to your spouse. So what you should do is, notwithstanding how busy you are, make time to have quality time. I'm just saying make time to spend time together. No, make time to have quality time together. And make sure maybe it's weekly, every week, even if it is some few hours, have quality time together. In a month, maybe it is just one day, set a time apart to have quality time together. In a year, you can decide to go on vacation, you decide to go on a retreat, maybe just a weekend. Find time to spend time together. When you don't spend time together, you communicate less, and the lesser you communicate, the more the love will get eroded. Okay, and when you are not communicating together very well, it can affect the level of your trust in your spouse. You begin to doubt the loyalty of the other. You can even start to accuse the other. Before you know it, mind reading will come into place. And another thing that will happen is you end up communicating, even when you communicate, because of you're communicating less, there's tension, there's you're accusing the loyalty of your spouse. You are beginning to doubt the trust. You are beginning to not trust your spouse very well. You are doubting the loyalty of your spouse. Another thing that this would do is, even when you communicate, you would tend to communicate negatively. There will be sarcasm, there will be criticism, there will be contempt, defensiveness, and so on and so forth, which will continue to erode the love that you have for each other. It will even make you to withdraw the kind of support you are giving to your spouse. Not when it comes to money, even the emotional support. There'll be lack of trust as well. feeling of love will be reducing. What should you do? What you should do is, when you now notice that this is happening in your marriage, make sure there is openness, there's transparency. Don't have passwords to your phone that your spouse does not know. Don't try and pick calls and run away from the room where your spouse is. You're just giving room to your spouse to begin to think otherwise about you. Another thing that can erode the love in the marriage is when you have incompatible life goals. For example, when the wife will say, no, I want to go and work abroad, and the husband will say, no, Nigeria till I die. Now, that will bring conflict. You have to come together and blend your goals, blend your visions of life. Try to work things together. Look for how you can have a united front and help each other in the family. Let there be no power tussle. That's another thing. Yield to the other. Prefer ye one another in love. And another thing that is a sign that love is being eroded in the family is when you see that you're having frequent quarrels. All of a sudden, you just see that you're having tensions everywhere. Number one, what you should do is pray about it and ask God to help you. Number two, sit down, ask yourself. Don't accuse your spouse. When you see that you're having frequent quarrels, ask yourself, what are the things that I used to do when my marriage was good, when we were happy with each other, before we started having these frequent quarrels? What are the things that I used to do that I'm not doing anymore? And start doing that. And you can also ask yourself, what are the things that I'm doing right now that I think might be the reason why we are having this problem? And stop doing them. Sit down, examine yourself. Examine what you're doing that you shouldn't be doing. Examine what you should be doing that you are not doing. And above all, make God the center of your marriage. Make Him the foundation of your marriage. Always involve Him all the way through. We've been discussing about the topic, love is not enough. Don't just base your marriage on love, on feelings alone. Love is beyond feelings. Yes, love is the feeling that will help you make the choice, but commitment is what will help you to continue in the marriage. You have to be intentional about the person you want to get married to. You have to be intentional about having a happy home, and you have to be ready to work it out. Remember, love is never a sufficient foundation on which you should build your marriage on. It is one of the components of the foundation, but it is not the only component of the foundation. Commitment is. And you have to be intentional about it. And commitment will help you to look beyond all the flaws of your spouse. It will make you to accept your spouse. And before you can do this as a single person, don't just close your eyes and walk the aisle. No. After you've seen the person that you think you want to get married to, open your eyes, observe the person, go ahead, do investigation, ask questions, and be sure that you are going into the marriage not based on feelings. Let there be feelings, and go with it with reasons. Critical thinking is also very important. Am I ready to spend the rest of my life with this person? And if you're already in the marriage and you can't feel the feeling anymore, ask yourself, the feeling of love. Ask yourself, what is it that I used to do that I'm not doing that will help me if I start doing it again in order to have a better marriage? I believe the Lord will help you. Thank you for joining us. By the grace of God, we're going to be coming your way again on this same channel at this same time for another episode of Conjugal Bliss. I am Priscilla Ashonibare. God bless you.